Good evening, everybody. If you are about, please drop in and say hello. I can see chat up, so I'm able to see what's going on. So yeah, I'm able to see. I'm so excited because I have something planned for tonight. Well, not planned. It was planned about an hour ago. But the minute I knew what I was going to do, I got ready and cut everything out. So I am excited to show you what I have in mind, if that makes any sort of sense. So if you are around, please drop into the chat and say hello. I'm going to make sure the chat is actually working before I crack on with my live. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, so I'll give it a couple of more minutes for everybody to join me. Hopefully, I was going to say, hopefully nobody would have forgotten that I go live on a Friday. That's another one I want. On the chat. Choose that one. Okay. So if you are there, like I say, I can see chat. So please say hello. Hopefully you can see everything. Well, not everything, but most things on my table. I'm just going to tighten you up because otherwise it'll end up falling. Hi, Julian, sweetheart. How are we this evening? Are we okay? I've gone a bit something different tonight, which I'm dead excited at. Doing something different. It's something that Chris has been requesting me to do for a couple of weeks now, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm excited to show you what I've got planned. I cut everything out about an hour and a half ago. No, Bristolian then. No, I cut everything out about an hour and a half ago. Usually cut everything out on a Thursday. And I was busy last night, preoccupied with my swap. But other than that, I'm okay. I'm busy getting bits and pieces for my kitchen. Would you like to see what I bought today? Just going to make sure I got all my pieces first. Wait till you see, Gillian, what I bought. Oh, and you asked me about those buttons that I made into flowers. I have showed it on a live. We're going back a couple of weeks ago now. So yeah, and it was in the middle. So I'm going to do a video on it. So keep watching. So there is a video to show you how to make those flowers from buttons. And hopefully you'll be able to see it. Now, let me show you what I bought. Let me show you what I bought. Right, okie doke. This is what I got today from the charity shop. So I haven't opened these as in properly opened them. So I'm hoping, I don't even know how big they are. One of them, that looks like this is a pillowcase. One of them we bought big, huge, gigantic tablecloth, and it was all lacy and embroidered, and it's actually on my kitchen table. But that, I loved that because of the embroidery on it. Isn't that cool? It looks like, well, it's a little cross stitch. How cool is that? And I love the way they've done these leaves. So that is a pillowcase. that I purchased today. Good evening, Miss Rian. This, I don't even know what this is. These are, I'm just showing things that I've purchased today. I think, oh, this is a tablecloth. So let me show you. That's what's on this edges. It's like a real teal blue. Isn't it pretty? And then this is what was on this side. You can probably see on that side. And like I say, I haven't opened these up yet, so I'm looking at these firsthand. Good evening, Christine, sweetheart. How are we this evening? Oh, thank you, Julian. I know, they're gorgeous. And they were only, I think they were £1. The bigger ones were £1. No, that can't be right. 2 for £1.50. That's how much they were. That's how much they were. And I had this one. I love this one. This must be a chair back cover, but I loved it because these are the way. That way. Yes, that way. I've got it the wrong way. I love this because you can cut them out individually, and I've got like little mini doilies. So I love them, and I love the fact I've got little flowers in the inside as well. So I've got them, and they must be, well, oh god, they must be 2, 4, 6, 6, 3. So it's 12 times 3. If anybody can work that, that's 30. There's 30 of them. No, that's 10 times 3. 23, 36. I've got 36 of these little doilies on you. That was really quick for me. And last but not least is this one. This is stunning. This I wanted to, like, oh, I said to Chris, I gotta have that if nothing else. It's like it's not cotton, it's thicker than cotton. It's absolutely stunning. I love this lace edging, and I love this detail, and I just love it. And the other one that I got is a round tablecloth, and that is on my kitchen table as we speak, because I was going to use that for crafting and I couldn't cut that up. So those are what I have got. Yeah, those are what I got today. The lace alone is gorgeous. I know, Rian. It's absolutely stunning. Thank you, Christine, sweetheart. Right, now we're all here. It's gorgeous. I completely agree with you. This is why it was a must. Right, okay. So, as you all know, I'm doing my kitchen. And I said I would do a video on it, which I will once I've got 2, 3 things to make, and then that's it, my kitchen's done. While I'm in the mix of making that, I wanted to make something for my kitchen on the live, because it's something that you guys can make for your kitchen, or you could make it for your craft room, perhaps. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a kitchen. Good evening, Belinda, sweetheart. So I've cut out all my pieces. Now, when I went searching for these alone, I went on Pinterest originally, and I came across this picture. Now, these are table placemats, and they are handkerchiefs, and there's placemat handkerchief, and there's a table runner as well. And this is a haul set by the lovely Emily Rose, that's her name. And I've left the links in the description bar. So the first link will show you the shop, and on the shop there's tutorials, there's patterns, there's loads of different things, like for crocheting, quilting, knitting, you name it, it's on there. So it's a really good website to go and mosey on over. And even if you don't buy anything, it's a really good website to look at, because I didn't even know they existed until I went onto Pinterest. So what am I making tonight? I am actually making some placemats. We have got a table in our kitchen, and Chris has been nagging me, feels like a century, but he's been nagging me to make some placemats for our table. So tonight I'm going to be making one of those placemats. Two reasons. One, I haven't got enough fabric to make the second one, and two, it's done in the exact same way. So I'm going to be making the placemat. Now, I went over to the shop that I've left in the description bar, and the actual set is called Emily's Roses Kitchen Set. That's what it's called. Again, it's all in the description bar. So go and pop on over. I think it was £1.49, something like that, and it's a PDF pattern that you can print off, go back to anytime you want. You can make a ton of these. You can make them for family, friends, whatever you wanted to make them for. Obviously, I think I'm right in saying you wouldn't be able to sell them because of the copyright law. I'm not sure where you stand on that, but as for making for gifts, of course you could. So I'm going to show you how. I've read the instructions, can't make sense of most of it. So I've got all the patterns. Now there's two pieces to this particular pattern, and I'll show you the pieces. So the first piece is that piece, and then the second piece is that piece. Now on the pattern, when you print it out, you'll get an image of this, and then you'll get two pieces of paper. I can't show you those pieces of paper because it's got the instructions on, and again, copyright and all that. But I can show you the pieces I've cut out. Now, Emily's done it all in lavenders, and I really wish I'd left some of that lavender fabric behind. So instead of, I'm going to use different fabrics to go with my kitchen. Now, some of you may know, and some of you won't know, that my theme of my kitchen that I went down was a country, vintage, cottagey type kitchen. That's what I wanted. So I think these would sit perfect on my table. Okay, Christine, sweetheart. So these are the pieces. These are the fabrics that I've gone for. Now, some of the fabrics you can obviously see what they are. So that one you can see what they are. This one, again, you can see what that one is. That one I'll show you in depth now. This is not white, it's like a lemon colour because I wanted to pick up the colours in this fabric. I have two strips, the outside of the placemats, and I have two strips of the green, and then this green that you see behind is the backing fabric. And then I've also, cut some seam binding in purple, so I don't know how far we'll get. This fabric, let me show you what that fabric is. It is, I can show you the top one as well. So that fabric, those squares, are this fabric. So all I've done is I just picked the flowers up. Feel a trip to the fabric shop coming on, Claire. Yeah, me too, because I haven't got enough fabric to do the second place mat. And I've got some of this fabric. So what I did, because the pattern pieces are small, I sort of picked out what piece I wanted to be on show. So yes, Miss Rian, me and you, I've got to make a trip to the fabric shop because I'm running out of fabric. Right. So I have read the instructions, like you say, but I haven't made sort of sense of them. So I'm going to sort of go off what they're trying to tell me. So the seam binding, you stick to that to one side, and you stick these to one side for the second, and these top ones. We'll need the top ones in a minute. And we'll need these. And where's those ones? Right, so these go to one side, and the strips do. Right, so our first protocol, I'll leave this down so it's nice to pretty for you to all look at. So your first protocol is you make a spool shape. So you can sort of make fabric spools out of these. So there's one there, right? Then I had, this is my C on the pattern. This is my fabric C. We've got to sew all these together. And I've looked, and I believe it's 1/4 of an inch. Then we have that. So that's what we've got to sew on at the moment. So I have pink thread, and I have checked that it's working this week. I'm not taking anything for granted. She is working for me this week, whether she likes it or not. She got off lightly last week. Right, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put the top piece back to back with the first square, and I need to get those corners pretty much as close as I can get them, really. Right, now 1/4 of an inch, 5 weights. Oh, I know. Let me get some masking tape and some fog tape. Like I say, she's working for me this week. So I've got a 1 inch ruler here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to rest it down just there. This is my little sewing hack, so I'm going to move this out the way, take the tabletop off, because we'll need the bottom for it now. And I'm just getting some fog tape, and all I'm doing, move the ruler right back to there, line the rule at the edge of the ruler at the needle, and then from that you'll be able, you'll be able to get 1/4. There, right. Just cut some off. 1/4 of an inch. That's half, so that would be 1/4. So it'd be there. There's my 1/4. So my fabric is going to line up this line here. Move that out of my way. So where's our square? So this is our first thing that we've got to do. Is we're sewing 1/4 of the way across. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's our first 1/4. Now our second 1/4. So this is the middle square. Line this up to here much. Match it up with that tape, which is there. Okay, so we now got 3. I need to finish my cup first. Oh, well, hurry up then, Rianne. Get cracking, get sewing. I need some fabric. Right, I've got a little, this came with my magazine, and it's a seam roller. So instead of me getting the iron out for every seam that I want to press, what you do with this little gadget, which I didn't even know they existed until it came in my magazine, is you just roll it on the seam allowance that you want to be flat, and it just rolls it flat for you. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that came with my magazine. Quilters magazine. Another one I did. The Beatrix Potter. I need to finish it actually, but the Beatrix Potter cushion. I'm going to push that down. So we've now got that shape. Don't know why it's wonky, but we now got that shape. Right, so next one that we are doing is this one, because we're making a spool shape. So I don't know why that's all of a sudden wonky. Shouldn't be. Right. Yeah, so this on. Let me get that thread out the way. And it tells you all this in the instructions. And then I'll show you the next bit now. Okay, and then you take, where did I put them? Then that's our third one. Now, here they are. Can't even see them for looking. Then you take one of these, and this then becomes your fabric spool. Can you see the shape? I thought that was really cool. So your little spool. So we're now going to sew that now onto that. I'm going to use my little handy little gadget, and I'm going to roll it again. It's a nice little handy gadget to have, actually. Now, if you wanted to pin this, of course I could pin it and sit and pin it if I wanted to. But I'm eager beaver and I want to see what this placemat turns out to be. Right, so let's sew this on. Hi, Lisa, sweetheart. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get a bit seasick, so I do apologize. Let's roll these seams out. Do you spread them apart? Let me cut these little threads off. Okay. So spread this out and then just roll it down. Saves me getting my iron out every 2 minutes. Love that little roller. Does it have a name? A seam. Let me see if I can get this right. If I can, I'll get my magazine now. A seam allowance roller. I think I'm going to have to see if I can find it online now for you. I think that's what they're called. A seam allowance roller. If I find it online, then I'll know. Then it works for you. Where did I? Seam. I'm sure it's called a seam allowance roller. Let me have a look. I thought everybody would like my little gadget. Seam allowance roller. Roller. No, that's not what it's called. Oh, I was almost sure that's what it was called. Seam. Was it called an edge flattener roller? Oh, wallpaper seam joint edge flat. No, that's what about flat? Oh gosh, what's it called? I thought it was called a seam roller, but that might be me. See if I can. No, that's wallpapering. I'll find out the proper name term for it. It's on my magazine, the Quilters magazine. I'll find the proper name for it, and I will, because I haven't got my magazine next to me, otherwise I'd show you. And I will, Chris, do you come past the magazine on my settee, please? If it's in the magazines, it'll be in the ones that I've just finished. The magazines on the settee, please. I think it's called a seam allowance roller. quilter seam roller. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. I should have had this name ready, shouldn't I? Good evening, Julia, sweetheart. I'm just passing to me. This is the magazine that I've had it from, but whether it's that issue, I don't know. No, that's today's quilter. Is that it? No, that's not it. Let me see if this one. No, that's not it. What about this one? Ah, there it is. Right. It is called Forget All the Stopping and Starting that's involved with pressing your seams with a hot iron. Instead of getting up from your machine and walking over to your ironing board over and over, same time and legwork with our handy seam pressing tool. That's what it's called, a seam pressing tool. That's what it's called. Whether you press open or one side, this month's gift will make a grand job of flattening those seam allowances so you can get on with sewing your next pieces together. So it's called a seam little tag pressing tool. Let me type it into the chat. Oh yeah, seam hashtag pressing tool. There we are. You would get there in the end. It's effective. I was surprised. I know. I've put it on in case anybody wants to get one. And mine came with my magazine. I have my Quilters magazine delivered once a month, and I'm never disappointed with it because it's such a brilliant magazine. They've always got something in there that you'll be getting inspired to make. Right, now we've done our spool. We've got to do the spool the other end now, so it gets a bit tricky. So turn it that way for now. And then this piece sews onto here. Yeah, that piece sews onto there. And I'm going to pin these. Where's my pins? I did get them out. And then, yeah, that's right. Pin that one there. We'll do one at a time because otherwise I'm so going to get confused because it's a pattern I've never done before. I think it's a technique, and I think I'm going to get the correct terminology for this technique, but this technique does have a name. Oh, what's it called? Is it just as a real weird name? Farmer's Daughter's Blocks. That's what it's called. Farmer's Daughter's Blocks. Nice name, but just one I've never come across before. Okay. Then, so that then flips over to there, revealing that side. And then this, one of these you cut out for, is then sewed on to this. You do the spool the other way. Does that make sense? You're welcome, Belinda, sweetheart. I know when I watch videos, I like to know what they're using, because sometimes somebody can use something and you think, oh, do you know what? I wish they had said what that had been called, because now it would really help me. So you're more than welcome. Okay, so let me cut that. So we've now got, let's roll our seams out. Open this. This isn't a quarter of an inch. I've done a little less. I must remember when I come up to do the other side. So that's that side. Please make it in my eye now. That's that side. So we have now got, that's what that looks like. Can you see the spool coming? Right. Now this then, this way. This then gets sewn there. And then we sew the last one then of the big ones on. I see people using gadgets and craft supplies, and then I just need them all. Miss Free, I'm with you on that one. Sometimes it's a must have, sometimes it's a must need. I do always think. But no, as things like that, where to me, because my little travel iron decided to break, how inconvenient. For me, it was a God saver because it means I've ironed all my pieces. That means I don't have to keep getting up and down to plug it in or do whatever to do. Right, and then you sew that right. Yeah, sew that one then onto the last one. We'll press our seams out, and then you'll see 2 spools. You should see 2 spools. This can be made into a tablecloth. It can be made into placemats. It can be made anything you want it to be made out of. And let me roll my seams out. Push these seams out, and I'm just going to roll them because I think I've gone a bit in. Might have to pick them because that's gone a bit in, too far in for my liking. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. The line up is there. Yeah, I will. Let me unpick this a minute because I've gone in too much. Getting all excited, see. Unpick this because I've gone in a bit too much than 1/4 of an inch, and it's going to knock everything else out if I don't do nothing about it. So let me sew that on again. But this time I'm not going to go in. I didn't go in 1/4 of an inch the other side. I only went in, might be, well, I'll show you how close I went in now. Line it up, which we're going to do. Instead of going in 1/4, I'm literally just going to touch it on the edge till it touches the other edge, instead of going in 1/4, and then it'll knock everything else out. So for the 2 sides, only touch it slight on the edge. That's better. Okay. Do apologize. I don't know, I'm bigger or something. I must have. No, I'm not. We'll see. If I've got to unpick it, I'll unpick it. But I don't think I will. But something's going on top of them squares. It does look out of place, but it does look a bit bigger. I don't know how I've done it bigger. See how I've only touched it. That might be It's not quarter, what they call it. 3/8, 3/8, 4/8, something like that. Good evening, Dawn. I'm colouring. Are you, Julia, sweetheart? I enjoy colouring. I find it so relaxing. What are you doing? You know those, I like colouring those adult books. Are you doing one of them? Or what are you colouring in? Gotta tell us all now. I'm intrigued. Right. Okay, so 2 spools. Yeah, sort of. That one's that block there is a bit big. I should have done it a bit smaller, but like I said, I'm not bothered at the moment because there's something going to go over it. Right. Now you come to your pieces. So when you cut your pieces out, a little tip for you, and this is something I so got confused by, and I was there all day cutting it out, is with a placemat, it'll take 4 of this side. So with the right hand side up, it'll take 4. But the other side, you've got to push it down and then do the other side. So your pieces are mirrored. And every time I went to do it, I got a bit confused, so I had to cut it out separate. So that's my little tip for you. The writing is face up, cut 4, and then writing face down, cut 4. That'll make one placemat. Good evening, Divana. I said it right. Good evening, sweethearts. My granddaughter is here for a sleepover. She's watching TV and giving me a running commentary. Oh, bless her, Gillian. Oh, bless her. Right, these little bad boys. Now, I have no idea. Now, these, we top stitching, I believe. Because how the heck am I supposed to sew that down there? Does that go? I think that goes there like so. I think I'm gonna have to cut. I'm gonna have to cut my interfacing. No, out of shot, honey. Oh, am I out of shot? That's what I'm working out. Sorry, I'm working out these. That's how they go on the pattern. And I believe you quilt stitch them down. But if I do that, the edges are good. You'll have, I'm gonna have raw edges, and in time they'll unpick. So this is what I'm trying to work out. I might need my interfacing. I think it's interfacing. What did I use with my? Can anybody remember what I used with the bunny thing? I think it's interfacing. Let's have a look. There's my. I'm trying to think how to do it now. I think that's how I do it. Iron it down. Now look. I put this away earlier. Can't remember how I've done it. So it's the same technique. No, it's the wrong. That's wrong. So that's a bit mess. What have I done with my I got it. This is, what is this I can't remember what it's called. Web. That's what I needed. Does everybody remember I did this a couple of weeks ago? And I haven't finished it off, but I have added more bluebells. Just to let you all show you. And I've added more of the stitches around my leaves. And I also made some pots which wasn't in the original pattern. So I added some more of them. I've added some more bluebells. And I've got the bunny to go. But it's the same process as you doing this. That's why I got this out. Because it was to remind me what I used. So web. So I do need the iron. Right. Oh, thank you, Diviana. I did try with the fabrics to make sure that they weren't gonna move or anything. So I'm gonna move that out of my way, and I'm gonna ask Chris to pass me the iron. It looks like I do need the roll. Oh, right. And then what we've got to do is cut all these out and iron them all on you, ready for them to go on our placemat. And then this prevents them, if I can remember how to do it, this prevents them prevents them, I'm trying to think. Oh, what do you call it? Fray. It prevents them fraying on the edge. Chris, I need the iron, please. Chris? Yeah. I need the iron, please. And we've got, I can't remember how many exactly. All I'm doing at the minute is I'm just cutting my bonder web out on each piece.
You going down?
How much there?
All right.
Just about. Now this is how I'm doing. Oh, sugar. This is how I'm doing mine. So this isn't in the original pattern, but this is the only way I can think of doing it, and then quilting it on top, because otherwise I'm going to have frayed edges, and then that's going to just fray over time. Because that bonder web's stuck to my eye anyway. Can't remember where I am from. Oh, yeah, in this way. It's got the backing on the back you take off. So cut all these out, these fiddly bits. One there. You do 3 at a time, then you should. Because you quilt it on top. Once you've done it all, you start quilting on top. It's I don't know. At first, I didn't understand the pattern, and I'm still trying. Like I said, I've never made one of these before, so if all fails, it fails. I've tried. That's all that matters, is I've given it a go and I've tried it. And I thought these fabrics really matched in with the purple, because I've got in the kitchen. I will do a video on it. I haven't forgotten. I know everybody keeps asking, do a video on the kitchen. I will do a video on it, I promise. But I have bought something that sits on top of my table that is in these sort of colours. So these fabrics matched perfectly. And all I'm going to do is just iron that on. It's 1, I knew that was going to crease. Yeah. Let me peel it back a little bit. There, that's that one, and then this one. Do 4 at a time, then see how we get on from there. Make sure it's in line, and you don't want it creasing. Okay, that's 3. I haven't got many of these. Do you have Jones fabrics, deep down? No. I've never heard of them, Dawn Marie. I'm in love with your fabrics. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I've never heard of that company that you've just said, Dawn Marie. Is that just in USA? Don't you? Oh, wow. Now, these fabrics come from, well, some of these fabrics, especially that one, comes from my local what would you call it? Fabric shop. And when I am with Rian, because we've just made a date to go fabric shopping, I will take you all in there with me, because that is where I had all my lavender fabric. Do you remember all the lavender fabric? And I did everything with it, and I made it stretch. That's where I had that from. There's that one. Nearly there. So yeah, next time me and Rian go shopping, I'll take you all there with me, because they do amazing fabrics. And the other place I go is Pink Scissors, and I have my quarter fabrics off her. These sort of fabrics I have off her, which is the fabric I'm using in tonight's. I'll do them two in a second now. Which is the fabrics I'm using in tonight's live. Here's that one. Here's that one. Here's that one. I got 2 more to cut. Like like I say, you don't necessarily have to make this for your kitchen. You could make this for your craft room. Because who said, as a thumb rule, that placemats belong in the kitchen on the table? Nobody did. Hi, Carolina, sweetheart. Oh, let me get rid of all this rubbish. Iron them two down. And we have got a couple more pieces to do, but I won't do them until I get there. Otherwise, I'll get confused. Like I said, I've never made this before. I've never made this pattern before. It might not work now because I've ripped it off. Glue one straight. Oh, Colette. Oh, I'll cut another piece. I'm not skimping on that because I'll cut another piece that will be straight. So there's that piece, and then we'll cut one more. I'll probably need the hood strip or something else in a second. Okay. That over there. So if you're getting a bit out of shot, it's because I'm trying to keep everything as straight as I can be without pulling it out of or off the bonder web. This pattern's a bit weird, to say the least. You'll sort of understand what I mean now when I come to sewing it. But this is the only way I can think of. I'm going to put that on the floor. Mind you, burn. Right, okay. So we've cut all our pieces. Let me get rid of all these stuff that we don't need. Right, now, what we need to do now is, am I right in thinking that this can be pulled? Lisa, am I right in thinking that this can be pulled because there's paper on the back? Am I right in thinking that? Or am I just gonna? No, I'm not. Because the glue is on the back. Now I glue that, yeah. So it's paper on the back. So you rip the paper off. Now, the reason I have a plaster on my finger is because earlier when I was cutting all these pieces out, I cut the oh yeah, and you know what this means, don't you? This means I need my scissors cleaning because I'm cutting the glue out. I forgot to cut it out on the paper. There. Right. Now on, I'll cut the paper first before I rip it off. going to do 4 at a time, and then yeah, I was just checking I got 4 then on the table because I couldn't see 4. And now, because there's glue on the back and the edges, this then now means that I haven't got to battle with the raw edges, so to speak. You might find if you decide to buy this copy, and this hat in particular, you might find that you've got a different technique again, because it doesn't actually say to use Bonder Web on the, oh God, come on. It doesn't actually say to use Bonder Web on the pattern, but it's the only thing I can think of that will allow me to, there's one, allow me to, what will it allow me to do? Allow me to quilt on top and then me not get any raw edges. There. Done. Right, and leave them for there as they are. Second, I'm going to bring our piece of work over, just this, and this is what they say to do. So this is my back. To put the back of your placemat facing down, you get your wadding, which would be your fleecing. This is my fleece. I haven't cut this to size. You'll have to bear with me while I gather my scissors up wherever they've gone. Right. Let me cut it to the edge of my table mat. Now I cut the bigger piece a bit bigger than it needed to be, because like I say, when I read the instructions they were a bit confusing to me, and I was like, oh right, okay, so yeah, okay, then no, right, I'm going to do it that way, and that's how I did it. Right, spread that out so you've got your even place setting. Bring your 2 spools over. Now the edges should touch the edges of your piece. Doesn't matter if it's too big or too small. And all I'm going to do before I move on to them is I'm going to just pin this together. Told you it was a bit strange, the setup, but needless to say, Chris won't be nagging me anymore, but I do need to make another one. And all I'm going to do is take it over to my machine, and I am going to stitch. I'm just going to stitch on the outside to begin with. Don't worry about these edges because they're going to be sewn in a second. Stitch on the outside, the top and the bottom, and down the edges here. So you're only stitching 4 sides, so it's the top there, top there, and then 2 sides on either or. And we will come back to our side pieces in a second. Right, let's get my machine over. Okay. So I'm going to start off with this edge. Now it does say, and it's the only seam allowance I could possibly find on the pattern, 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to take it that's not, I wouldn't say that's 1/4. Let me slow that down. That's not quarter. I haven't done like a quarter. I'll measure it in a second now, but there's no way I've done that a quarter. Like that side. Only thing is with this, I've just realised, is you're going to see the stitches the other side. That's the only thing that I'm thinking of, that if you didn't want to see your stitches each side, I don't know, you would see the stitches, you would see the stitches the other side. At least I'm doing mine in pink, but then again, it will give me a nice effect, I should imagine, once I've sewn it all together. I'll just have to wait and see. If I've messed it up and I've made a mistake, then I've made a mistake. I'll know where I've gone wrong and making mine. Because this could be Chris's. I'm telling. Right. Right. This side now. Making sure I'm nowhere near that pin. Okay, that's that. And then this side. Now it does tell me how big these placemats are going to be, and you do the same, which I'll tell you in a second. Now you do the same technique to make the table runner. Okay, on to our next piece. So these are all our bits sewn on. You can take these pins out if you wanted to. Mine's not a bit, mine's just a bit off being straight. Think I'm gonna, before I do anything else on that side, I'm just gonna stitch it down that side, and then that would be, can't stand still if it's not straight. It does bother me sometimes. Right, these pieces that we cut out, do the pink ones first. Now they go like so. So the point touches the point of your square, and it runs up just over. It doesn't matter if it runs over, but the point runs to the point of the square. And then, yeah, that one's the other one. Again, to the point of your square. Till you have that. So I'm going to iron that down because it's got glue on the other side. See, that's where you pull the paper from. See what I mean about me not being worried about where it's going afterwards? Yeah, I'm going to lift that ever so slightly and I'm just going to pull it just along that edge. Okay, so that's sort of that side. Now, before I do the other side, I'm going to stitch, make a little fancy stitch, nothing, you know, over the top, but we want a nice little stitch. I'm not going to use any fancy stitch. I think I might just go for, I fancy an ordinary zigzag stitch. I don't know why. Just have a look. Oh, I know, number 19. 17. Right. It's like a zigzag, double zigzag stitch is what I'm using. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the edge of my top of my spool, put the foot down, and I'm just going to follow that line all the way down to there. And remember, everybody, I've picked number 17 on my machine, so I might forget. Okay, there's the foot up, and now you're going to the point of your square now. Lift the foot up and turn it. And you go into the point here. Okay, and you're doing a double zigzag. But make the thread a bit steeper. Lift it and go this way now. I'm going about halfway up. There's a reason for it, because some of this is going to get covered, so I'm just going to go halfway up on the other side. So that is the first sort of piece done. So now the second piece, I'm just going to do a little quick, no, I'll work this side. I'll leave that side for last. I'm going to turn my piece and I'm going to go, so you go purple first, so it's always alternating to the top of your square, then this piece then to the top of your square. It doesn't matter if it's coming off or it's coming off onto the other pieces. All that matters is that these points remain on the top of the square, because when you stitch them down, you'll notice that your squares will blend in anyway. So because I used Bonder Web, I'm now going to iron that on. And I'm going to do I'm using a double zigzag stitch again, but you can use any stitch you want. About halfway down, because there's going to be things going on the side now in a second. So about halfway down between the end of the point to the beginning of the top of your spool, what we call the spool right at the beginning. And zigzag all the way down. And this is called a technique for this is called something, so it's not down. Okay. So I'm going down to the point now of my top of my square. I say you could do a straight stitch, you could do any stitch you wanted to. But I need to make I'm not obviously going to make 4 of these tonight. I'm going to make 1 of these, because it's the same process. When I come to making the table runner to match these, I will show you how I've done that and how to do that technique, because the table run is a little bit different again. Pick up and then tilt. Okay. Okay, so that is what our piece looks like. So now we have got to peel the backs off these, because I have ironed them. Cut them first and then peel the backs off them, and then we can iron them onto our piece. Oops. Now I cut the big back piece a bit bigger than needed because I didn't know how big it was going to be, even though the pattern says, you know, it's going to be A big or B big, but I didn't know whether it was going to run over on it or run underneath it or whatever it was going to do. So I made the back piece a bit bigger because I always still like to think that with more fabric you can cut it down, less fabric you've got to start again. So I decided, no, I'm not starting again. I was actually going to make it bigger so I could cut it down. And I don't know if I've got enough seam binding, because I did run out of fabric when I was making the seam binding up. So God knows if I've got enough seam binding. Now I'm just going to do a real quick stitch just to line this up. Otherwise, it's going to be out of sync with everything else. Actually, is it? Is it? Or will I notice it? No, I'm not going to notice it. Why am I worrying about it? Right, let me get this back of the paper off. I like the stitching on the back. I do as well, and I think it gives, without you having to work for it and work, you know, do it intentionally then, let's put it that way, it does give a nice effect. But if you didn't want it on the back, that's something you would have to think about how you would go about it if you didn't want it on the back. Right, make sure your points are on the top of your square. Everything else will sink in. I'm actually going to move that pin out of my way. There. And let me iron that down first before I go any further. But yes, I need raw fabric in order to make another one. Another 3. Or another 2 perhaps, because our table will take 3 seats. So another 2. Let me I'm going to sew this on first before I do the other one. So take a middle piece. Like I say, on the pattern, it doesn't give me it doesn't tell me to use underwear. It's something that I was like, how do I do it if the raw edges are supposed to be raw without it fraying? So it's something that I thought about. But if you buy the pattern and you read the instructions and you can see what they are trying to say, then do it that way. So I'm literally just going down till I hit the top of my square. So lift and turn. I'm going to have to go in a little bit here. To the top of here. Right. And then I'm going to about halfway from there to there. I'm going to go about halfway because you're not going to see all the edging. About there. Okay. show you what it now looks like. So we have that piece now. You see how it's looking like. Goodbye, Dawn. Thank you for coming in, sweetheart. I do appreciate it. Right, I'm going to peel that back, and I'm going to peel the back of the paper off here. And I'm going to stitch that now, or iron it first. So again, the top goes onto the top of here, like so. Now, that's a little bit, only a tiny smidgen bigger than what I should have added. So I'm going to cut mine down just a little bit. My other scissors. Come back. Okay. That's better. Right. Let me iron that down. Stitch that, and we're on the next stitch. I'm liking the pattern. Really liking the pattern. Wow. Hey! Woohoo! Can't wait till it's finished. Right, let's stitch this. Bearing in mind, I've never made a placemat before, and I've never made one of these before. But I do like the pattern. So turn it. Let's spin it all the way around. Do you think you would give this a try, this pattern a try? Do you think you would give this a try? Do you think it would inspire you to have a go? Turn it. I'm going to have to go in a little bit on my halfway up. Remember, you don't need it to go all the way. Right. Oh. It's coming together. It surely is, Srian. So that's what we've got so far. So the other piece that I have, just checking that where my pieces are now, because I can't see. Oh yes, I can. 1, 2. Right. My other pieces, where have I just put them now? Are these 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are, we have to do the bundle up again. So I'm going to move that just to there a second, and I'm going to pin these on here for us to iron them, so we can iron them to there. So you need 4 of these. And I used a pink cotton. I just thought pink would bring it out. You could use any cotton if you wanted to. Right, let's cut this down. There's one. This is the only thing now that needs bond web. All the other pieces don't. They just need sewing on. And it didn't take me long to cut them out. Once I read the pattern and I got into cutting them out, it took me about an hour because I started cutting them out at 8 o'clock. Three, and then that one is 4. There. Okay, so let's iron these up and then we can stick these then to our project. So much for not doing any ironing tonight. I've done loads. Oh my word. Right. One. There is 2. Ah. 3. I'm going to tidy these edges up, otherwise I'll have glue all over my scissors. And Miss Rhea won't thank me for it because it was Rhea that cleaned my scissors last time. 4. Okay, I'm going to leave the iron there because I'm going to need it in a second now. Just tidy the edges up. Okay. Come on. Did somebody say score the paper and then pull it? Did I read a comment that somebody said score the paper first? Score it first. Ah. Oh, I'm sure somebody said score it, but I can't remember who said it. That was the treat. Right. I said it, Lisa. I knew somebody had said it to me, but I remember reading a comment. Thank you, Lisa, for that tip, because that's worked a treat. Save me struggling, trying to find the edges. Right. Oh, I like this scoring. It's so much easier than trying to find the edge. Yeah. There's 3 and then we're on 4. What are we doing for time? Okay. Right, there's 4. Right, let me get rid of all this rubbish I've got all surrounding me. And I'll have more room to fill my table up full of more stuff. Does anybody else do that? Get rid of get rid of this stuff on the table to begin another project. I always do it. If I'm making like cards and I got my card stuff out, I'll get, I'll put that away. But even if I'm doing a sewing project, I'll put all the sewing stuff away and then I'll begin another sewing project. So these go on the corner. That's why I said don't go all the way up with your little wheels. And they go more or less as a diamond shape. Yeah, that did catch. And make sure that you've got your little corner as you rivet. Doesn't matter if it comes off, because you're going to cut this down anyway. Right. Let's do 2 at a time before I sort of skip ahead. So all we're going to do is, like we did with these, is we're going to stitch down there and back up, down there and back up. Don't worry about the sides because we're going to, sort them out in a sec. Oh, it's coming together. I'm getting really excited. Well, Lisa, it was a brilliant tip. I would have been there all day trying to get the paper back off these little pieces. So I'm just going to the corner now. Lift this and turn it all the way around. Put it back down. So I'm going to go back to the stitches and cut, and I'm going to take this one and then we're going to something's going on because this is not sewing. Don't you start on me. Oh, she's run out of thread. Had to happen. Right. Trying to think now how to do it, because every time I do this without fail, it goes wrong. Right, everybody cross their toes and their fingers, and if you're not crossing your fingers and toes, you get to sit in the naughty chair, because every time without fail I do this, it goes wrong. So cross your fingers and toes. We're now going to thread the machine. Oh my word. Right, where's my little scissors gone, or has it been buried? I'll have to use these ones because I don't know where my little ones have gone. Oh, here they are. Right, get rid of that. I'm not going to take the bottom one out as of yet. I'm going to just thread this loop down. Come on. Right, and I'm going to put that through. Cross your fingers and toes now, because it's always the bottom bobbin. And funny enough, I did. Fingers crossed. There, that thread. We haven't got much to go now. I like this pattern. Leave all that up. I'm not taking the bottom bobbin out just yet, because I came up with a little trick of mine the other day. I'll show you now. Whether it works, I don't know. But when I did it the other day, it worked. And it helped me to remember how to put the bobbin in. Thank you very much. I'll cut this. All right, there's the bobbin there. Where's those thread gone? Thread this back up. Down to 3, back up to 4, down to 5. Oh my word. Always absent on the live. Never when I'm actually sewing and crafting in my room. These things don't happen. Right. Bottom bobbin done. Right. Now this was my trick the other day because I can never remember, ever, how this bottom bobbin goes in. So I took the lid off the other day and talking myself away through this. And I gently pulled it out till I could see the end. Please don't come off. Please don't come off. Please don't come off. I come off. Right, till I saw the end. Right. So if the end is there, and then I put the piece of cotton like that because it helped me to remember how to do it. I put that in. I took the old piece of cotton away, the 2 pieces, and then I rethreaded this. And when I did it the other day, it worked a treat. Right. Oh, please work, please work, please work. I'll give you lots and lots and lots of cuddles if you work. Yes, it worked. Yes. Right. We're back on track. Right, let's begin. Oi! Thank you, everybody who got their fingers and toes crossed. I do appreciate it. Oh, I know. And we're off. So 2 back points. We got. Oh, we have another one to go. And then back up this side. Cut it. Take it away. I know. Right. Let me move them up my way. So that is what we've got so far with the 2 boxes on the bean jig. Now I'm going to stick these on like so. Go upside down first. Doesn't matter if it's not straight because I'm going to be cutting all this down. Iron this on to where it should be. That is not where it should be, correct? That's where it should be. Okay, right, and then this one. Right, that's it for the iron at the moment. Right, so again with what we're going to do, so we're going to sew from there up, and like I say, don't worry about the edges because we're going to hi RV Lucky Sweetheart, thank you so much. I'm actually doing a place setting, but a placemat, but it could be a blanket. You are right. I am so thrilled with how it's turning out to be. I've got 4 more pieces to go on, and then it will be done. And I've got to make another 2. I run out of fabric. No, yes, it could be a blanket. And I think what I might do, I think it needs to have. What I might do is make this into a blanket. I think that would be really pretty actually if I did that. All the way up. Cut that off. And then this side. And because I've done a double zigzag, it's just what's on my machine. It's keeping the pieces in there. bit next. And then we're on to the next bit. Okay. Okay, so our next bit is, hoping that's going to stay there like so. So that is what it's looking like at the moment. So our next bit is, let me trim these little raggedy, threads off. Right, so our next bit is these. These are the 2 strips that I've got, and should have underwebbed these really, because these go on the edge. I think they go on the edge like so. My square is a bit centered off here, but I need to underweb them, otherwise the stitches will come undone. Come on, all this underweb. Got 4 more pieces to go on, and then it'll be done. Woohoo! Right, I'm going to put 2 pins in this so that I can stick down. So you've got 2 of the. So I've got 2 of the green, and so I need to stick the pink pieces down. Let me think. I don't think I need to stick the pink pieces. I just these ones. Because the pink pieces are going to be hidden. Shall I make the effort and do them? So let me cut these out first. Like I say, I don't know whether I've got enough of, whether I've made enough, let's put it that way, of the seam binding. But this pattern is amazing. I love this pattern. What type of sewing machine do you have? I have the electrical, not electrical. Let me try that again. I have an automatic Singer machine. I can't remember the make and the model off by hand, but I'll show you it now in a second. But it's got all fancy stitching, and I can do quilting and stuff like that on it, embroidery, which I often use. Now I do have, like I said, there's 4 more pieces to go on. I do have these, I don't know whether to make the rest. Let's make the effort and come on. Why not? Said Fred. Yeah, it does everything, but that's not to say you can't do it on a normal machine, what I'm doing, because you can. There's no rule to say that what I'm making tonight you can't do on a normal machine, because of course you can. I think that with any machine you could easily do this pattern because it's accessible to it all, if that makes any sort of sense. Right, I'm gonna iron all these pieces and then I'm gonna stick them on, and these are the last 4 pieces I have to put on, and then our binding, like I say, though, we'll go with the flow, but if I haven't got enough binding I'll have to obviously stop. There's one. All caught up in threads here. Okay. tell you what I have bought. Oh, what have I been up to? I bought some beautiful laces. Oh, the wonderful Chopper. And they, I think they're coming tomorrow. Hopefully coming tomorrow. I'm hoping they are because I'm really looking forward to receiving them. But when they come, I'll do a video on them because I'm super excited. She she was doing destash the day before yesterday. She was doing a destash yesterday, and I managed to get hold of the laces that she was doing the destash on. So I am super excited. And Shilpa is Craft Angel Online on YouTube. She makes amazing things. I used to make upholstery. Did you? Can I ask you something? RV Lucky. Is your name RV Lucky, or is that just your YouTube name? The only reason I ask is because I try and remember everybody's name. It doesn't always happen, but I do try. And I just wondered what your name was, if it wasn't that. But what kind of upholstery did you make? Has anybody made anything for their homes, like cushions or blankets, or is it just me making stuff? Because my idea was to make, because I think I've shown them, I don't know whether I've shown them on our group. I think I have, I can't be 100% sure. I have made little egg wrap cozies to go over the egg cups. Made them. They were fun to make. Right, that's that one done. Do this one. She's fibbing. Colette never remembers my name. No, never, Lisa. I do try. Whether I get your name correct, that's a different story. Poor Lorna. I keep calling her Lorna, and it's not Lorna. And it's because, and she's made tailor-made journals on YouTube, but I keep calling her Lorna, and her name's not Lorna. Her name is something totally different, and it is because I was watching somebody that I thought it was generally her. I was going, oh, there's lovely videos, Lorna. There's lovely videos. She's going. I said, I'd like to comment on your video. She said, on my video? Yeah. I have to comment. She said, well, it hasn't appeared yet. Oh, and this went on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks until I eventually said, am I watching you? And she went, what do you mean you're watching me? I said, you're the one that's got you speak in your videos. She said, I don't speak in my videos. Oh, God, help me. So there's that one. I'm sorry if you're watching the same thing. My dad was in 7th son, and I'm the 7th son in my family, and the 13th child. Oh, right. Oh, wow. I see. My name is Lucky, and 7th son have the 7th son, the 13th child. That's where they name me Lucky. Oh, I see. Wow, that's really interesting. Well, welcome to my channel, sweetheart. I hope you enjoy it, my live. That's really interesting. Wow. They were obviously very blessed to have you, to name you Lucky. I do too. They say they're gifted. I was just about to say I thought I bet they felt blessed to have you. Oh, bless you. So I'm guessing that you've got a channel then for you to come up on YouTube as RV Lucky. I'll go over later and subscribe and support you. And don't worry if you say that I don't do videos. because I do support channels even if they don't do videos, because I always think that some channels, they say that, oh, never going to go on YouTube, never going to go on YouTube, and then they change their mind and then they end up going on YouTube, which is really nice. I do. Yes, I have the. No, I'm lost now. Back in the 60s, we used to do diamond tech. That's what paid for my education. Oh, wow. So have you got a channel then? Do you do video? Oh, wow. Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, wow. Well, thank you for popping on. I do appreciate it. And now you've said the story to your name, I will try and remember it, but I will remember your name now because there's a story to it. Don't listen to Lisa. She's lying. She's fibbing. No, I will try and remember your name. That's really, really interesting. Right, I'm just going to iron the rest of this, and then you're not going to watch me iron anymore because I'm not ironing anymore. I give up. Right, cut this down, and then we can stick these then to our project. Okay, that's our side. Oh gosh, I can't get out do much anymore on my birthday. I'm 87. Oh wow. Oh my word. My mother was an Irish traveller, my dad was English. Oh wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing age, 87. Well, if I live till 87 and I've got as many and as wonderful stories to tell my children and my family when they grow up, then I'll feel as blessed as you are. That's amazing. 87. Wow. Irish gypsy, Irish having a whole bunch. Oh wow. I find that side of thing really interesting because I don't have any relatives that are travelers or anything like that, but I do find it interesting on people, how they used to travel and how they made their life just by traveling. I think it's so fascinating, and I think with anyone that's got a story to tell like that should never be indicated or stereotyped just because they travel. Does that make sense? I think that is an amazing thing. Making that used to be an 87. Well, please, ladies, please go over and subscribe to each other, and even if even if you don't see any videos, doesn't necessarily really mean that they're never going to do videos. It just means for now that they don't feel confident to do videos. So please go over and subscribe to each other. I know many of ladies, well, I don't know whether you are on Facebook, lucky, but I have a group on there, and we get up to all sorts over there. But I don't know whether you are on Facebook, but if you are, I usually put the link in the description, but I've actually forgot for tonight. But can somebody write in the chat for me? We are a swap group, but there is much more that goes on than that. Even if you don't want to join in the swaps, you can just be there to see what's going on and join in with what you want to join in. So there's lots going on. At the moment, we've got 2 challenges. One is picture challenge. One is like a swap challenge. Then we have our monthly swaps, obviously. But that's over on Facebook if you are interested in coming over to us. And if you are, I will look out for your name and I'll accept you into the group. Right, so I'm going to iron this down. The green strips go down first. Now I have gone a bit wrong here because there should be more of a square in the end, but that is the main pattern, so I'm not worrying about it too much. So set that there. Right, now what we're going to do is I'm going to move that to there. All I'm going to do is I'm going to sew from there to there. Don't worry about these edges and don't sew that side. There's a reason for it. You put a porcelain doll in the center of a blanket and it's either satin or silk. Back in the day with black lace over the top of it, so you had black under black. You had black under and black on top of the doll. Wow, I bet you've got so many stories to tell. Oh, keep them coming, Lucky. Honestly, I find it so fascinating, and I think you are so interesting. Honestly, I really do. I find that type of era, should I say era? But you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say if I say era. Just really interesting. I find it fascinating, and I find that everybody's got a story to tell, and nobody should be victimized or what's the word? What am I trying to look for? Stereotyped just because of those stories that they've got to tell, whether they be good or bad, in their view, or whether they be good or bad in your view. It doesn't matter. It's your stories, and I absolutely love hearing about them. My grandmother lives. She was 118. Oh my word! My dad lives. He's 103. If you have a long time. Wow, Lucky, that's amazing. 118 years old. That is amazing. If I live that long, I shan't forget the story that you've just told me. Ever. Honestly, that's amazing. 118 years old. That means you would have seen the world. Do they say you would have seen the world twice if you lived? You've had 2 centuries? Oh my. Centuries 50 years, isn't it? Am I right in saying that? Might be wrong. So all I'm doing is I'm just going down one side. I'm not worrying about the edges or the side because this side's going to be covered anyway. Now my squares, especially that one over there, is a bit centered off, but I'm not worrying about it too much because it's handmade. I haven't bought it off a shelf. If I did, then I would go back and complain. But I'm not worrying about it too much. Like that. And then I'll pull that out of there. And we'll push that on there and do the same on the other side. Great genes. Yeah, definitely, Rian. You've definitely got great genes. To live that long, 118 years old, and you were 87. That's amazing. Thank thank you so much for sharing your stories. I could talk to you all day. I really could, because I find it so interesting. I love hearing people's stories and where they've come from and what they've seen or what they've heard or what they've done in life. I love it. I don't know whether, because whereabouts in the world are you, Lucky? Are you UK, overseas? I am in UK. I'm in South Wales, UK. That's where I'm based. I'm carrying all the way to the edge. I'm going to stop in a second. So stop there. Put it off. And I'm going to pull that out. So my next piece, where have they gone? Are these? Let's move this before it gets melted in my gun. Right, so this one then goes here. Now you can sort of see where my pattern is going. So for this one, I'm going to sew down here. Don't worry about the sides again, because the seam binding is going to seat all that. But I will be cutting this down, and then I'll give you what the measurement that I've got. Like I say, so see that there. Oh my word, I can't believe it. I don't think the seam binding is going to be enough though to go around it. I don't know. We'll try. So again, just down one side, so down the inside. Don't worry about the outside so much. And the only reason I'm doing the inside is because, again, the seam binding is going to be covering the edges, so I don't really need to worry about the edges in particular. I'll cut this down in a minute, and I'll give you the exact size of what I've got. But I will be making another two. I need to make another one at least. But I make another two, because like I say, our table that we've got in the kitchen can easily sit 3. It can sit 4, but it can easily sit 3. We wouldn't have a 4 guest at any one time. So all the way down. And then on the other side. And then I'm going to cut this down then. So I haven't gone bad with my outer fabric, considering I've left, I think I left about 2-3 extra inches. Like I said, I don't think my seam binding is going to cover it all. And I've also, I don't know whether I said this at the beginning, I've also put in the quilting needle in the, also put a quilting needle in the sewing machine. Right. How can you make your more mini album create so much more? Oh, bless you. Is that what you're creating, Lisa? Bye, Lucky. Thank you for coming in, sweetheart. I've got to get this up, and now I've really enjoyed watching. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for coming in. It's really nice to get to know people, and it certainly is lovely to get to know you. So thank you for popping in. So all I'm going to do now is cut this down, minding my fingers, of course. I have, like I say, this is my seam binding. I don't think that is nowhere near enough to go round. I don't think it is. Like I say, we'll try, but I don't think I'm going to get much. much. And I'll show you the back as well. Okay. Now, because I have got nearly. I'm not dangerous, man, when it comes to rotary blades. I only have all my fingers in. Okay. Cut down this edge. It's going to give me a real nice, what they call it, table mat. No, I won't do that edge. I'll do it here. There. There. And then just this side to cut down. It's turned out beautiful. Just making sure I've got okay. Pull that down. There. Okay, so this is my table mat. Now, I don't think I have enough seam binding to go around the edges. I don't know whether I have. This is my seam binding that they apparently is supposed to go. I'll try and see how far I get. If I don't succeed, I don't succeed. I obviously need to get more fabric. So I'm going to just do it. Just put this down a minute. I'm just going to do my seam binding, just going in a little bit from the corner, because why am I doing that? Because if I did it to the corner, it'd be hard to join on. So I'm going to pin that bit there. I don't know whether I've got enough. We'll see. Now this seam binding is 1.5 inches wide. I haven't got any more of the fabric. Hence why I said we need to go shopping. Right. And I'm just gonna see how far I get. In there. Come on. Just opening my seam binding up a little bit because of where I am here. I need it more to cover the front than I do the back. Do you remember I said right at the beginning this was a weird pattern, because, and I said we'll have to I'll tell you right at the end. Why I said it was weird was because it said to sew on the back end and then go around it. I don't know. I just never known a pattern. Should use pegs, really. Pegs would be more useful to me than clips. Right, bring that over. Yeah, it's more useful than clips. Pins, I should say. I don't know whether it will go. Right, I'm going to cut these corners at an angle. It just helps when you put the seam binding around, you'll have a nicer corner if you cut the angle. If you leave it straight, you might find you'll struggle. Okay. There. I don't know, you know. Let me get some more pins. We'll go as far as it'll take me. Now, the pattern did say to cut 3. So that's what I did. But I'm definitely going to make another 2, maybe 3 of these. Have you have far more patience than me. The finished result looks beautiful, Carrot. Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. Everybody says I've got patience. Patience like a saint, everybody says I've got. I don't know. It might stretch. If it stretches, I'll be well chuffed because I didn't think it would. Right. Should have used clips to begin with. Right, let me cut this corner. I don't know whether it's going to stretch. Does anybody's guesses that much of seam binding? What do you all think? Do you think it's going to stretch, or do you think I'm going to be shy short? Anybody guesses? Anybody's good to guess as mine? I don't know. I do know that this is a beautiful pattern, and I'm going to be definitely making tablecloth to match this. That's what I do know. Anybody's guesses? Oh, please let me stretch it. Oh, yeah, I think it will fit. Oh, I think it will fit, you know. Right, let me cut that corner. And then what we're going to do then is we're going to carefully. So now when it comes to seam binding, I don't know whether I'm on my own when I say this, but I always struggle to catch the both ends. Oh my word, that fitted. I was like, oh, please let it fit. Right, I'm going to just pop. I haven't got a clip, have I? No, I haven't. I am going to look clips. Oh, I'll leave that loose because I know it's going to fit. Right, I'm going to bring my machine over and we're going to sew this and finish it off. So, what side should we sew? So I'm going to start sewing this side because I'll know to move this pin. Let's get my magnetic pins over here. Okay, I'll slow speed down a little bit. And I'm going to go as close to the edge as I can go. Because that way then I know I've caught both sides. Okay, take our pin out. It's handled up in cotton here, I don't know why. There. Now whether it, I don't know. Just pulling it tight as I go, because I know that I'm gonna have to unpick some of this, and if I have to unpick it, then I'll do that off camera. Pegs are so much easier. I can't see any comments at the minute because I'm concentrating. Well, let me see. No, don't have to unpick it. Ah! Need to learn to close yourself down and use. How did you experience one much worse than that? Claire said she felt like it was someone saying, yeah. I'll tell you. Shall I tell them the story, Ree? When we were going around that place, we went into one building and we didn't even think to film it, did we, Ree? We just didn't, and we were filming everything else. We just didn't film this one house. Anyway, this one house, it was a dairy farm, and I think the year was 18 something. I can't remember now. And I looked at Rian, and Rian said, "I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I gotta get out." And I'm like, "Can she feel it too?" And she said, "Hey, I gotta leave her. I don't know." So anyway, I didn't say nothing, and I said, "Ree, tell me what you've just felt." Because I said, and I was smiling. She went, "Why are you smiling?" Because I'm feeling terrified. I said, "Because just tell me what you felt." Because I didn't want to. I didn't want to say it and then we sound stupid, because sometimes you can say something and then the other person says, "Yeah, I felt that too, yeah." Do you know what I mean? So I didn't want to say it in case I felt stupid. So Rian said, "I had to get out of her." I don't know what it was, she said, but I don't know. It just, I just had to get out of it. It just felt like somebody was pushing on me, like really, like as if someone was watching me, other than the man that was in there, you know, telling us all about the house. So I was like, Brian, she went, yeah. I said, I've just felt exactly the same, but you know, the way I described it was, you know, when you go into somebody's house and they open the door and they say, oh, welcome in, yeah, take a seat, yeah, ever so welcome to come into my home. Right. So get that feeling in your mind now, right? Now, I felt as if I didn't have the blessing to go in, if that makes any sort of sense. I didn't have the approval, didn't have the welcomeness to go in, even though it was like, it was a house. It doesn't make any sort of sense in what I'm saying, but that's what I felt. And me and Ria both felt it, and we were like, we're never going in there again. But we didn't even film it, and we were like, we went around the whole museum, and bless Ria, she filmed like places that I couldn't get into, and even I watched it back and I was going, I didn't see that, and Ria filmed it all, bless her. But yeah, I don't know what it was in that one like room. Really don't know. It's really spooked us out for both of us. You know? Oh. Nearly finished. So hopefully I don't have to unpick anything. It's behaved the whole time I've gone round. Yeah, it was just really strange. Me too, no need for to. I knew there was something coming. I'm glad you didn't film it. You never know what film. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they do say that film does pick up stuff. It was horrible. I don't know what he was in that house. And we were telling one of the, because in each house you went, there was somebody telling you all about, how they used to live, what type of house it was, what type of year and period you were looking at. So I'm getting to the corner now, and I always find again. I'm just going to push that. Come on, correct last push. Really close to the finishing line. So yeah, that was our. But every time me and Rian go out, we always, we always end up chatting for hours, or we always get lost somewhere. We nearly ended up going the wrong. Well, we did end up going the wrong way there, because we were talking that much that we could have been on the way to England. Come on, okay. Last push, last push, last push, last push. Right, I'm on the very last bit now. So, and this was the bit I couldn't clip. So I am praying that it goes. I think I'm going to go back, and instead of trying to do it with my fingers, I'm going to clip it first, and then I'm going to sew it, because if I do it the other way around, never going to do it. And it's the last bit, and then I've done this place setting. So who's coming around for dinner then, since I've done one place setting? Ow, ow, ow. Oh, that look. Just about. It'll just about go around the corner with a push. Might have to cut. I'm going to round that corner off a bit more just to help it. Don't, whatever you do, cut, do not cut that. There. Come on, nearly there. Oh my word, this is so fiddly. There's one. And there is two. There. Right, so I'm going to go new. I'm not gonna sew anymore because look, I haven't gone on the edge. So I'm gonna have to unpick it to be able to finish it off. And I don't want to do that on film because I'm up there for ages. But that's the only place that I didn't catch, and that's because I was getting a little bit tired. But everywhere else I caught. So that is my place setting. I'm going to have to unpick it to about there, and then I'll sew all the way down and come around, and then that'll be one place setting done. Yeah, so please go over to that shop. She makes the most beautiful patterns. Like I said, she didn't say on the pattern to use Bonder web. That was just purely my take on it and the way I sort of perceived it. This is the back. That's what the back looks like. The back is just as pretty as the front, really. And I don't mind the stitches on the back. I think I like them, really. So I didn't do too bad with that seam binding. I always try and find it difficult with the seam binding, trying to catch it. But yes, I love it. I hope you give this a go. Don't forget, do the spool first, then join your other spool. And then the other pieces there are easy enough to follow. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for all your lovely comments. I'm going to read some of them out while I'm still on live. Love it, Colette. Thank you, Rian. Gorgeous. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Gillian. Thank you to everyone that came on. Please subscribe to each other if you haven't already done so. Look out for some videos coming up. I have been a bit quiet recently. That's because me and my dog haven't been very well, but I will be back on track with some more videos. I have got some lined up. I've got the kitchen to show you, which I'm dying to show you now, but I'm going to make at least another one of these. Got to make at least another one of these, and then it can sit on our kitchen table. So hopefully we'll see Miss Angie soon. It has been a bit quiet actually without her here tonight, and yeah, I will love and leave you all. Have a lovely rest of the week, whatever you are doing over the week, bank holiday weekend. And yeah, I'll catch up with you all next week, next Friday at 9 o'clock. Speak to you all then. Have a lovely rest of the week. No star. Good night, everyone. God bless.